Welcome back, welcome back. I got another video for y'all. Alright, listen. If you're watching this, go ahead and sub. Go ahead and sub to the channel, please. More people, more views, better content. Just that simple. No more people love it, more videos will pop out. But I digress. This is gonna be what if Deku had the darkness quirk part 2. I actually did this video, but I had to go rewatch the anime just to make sure it was what's the word for it? Correct. But enough with that. So I'm gonna do this is pretty much just start it straight off. When All Might's basically saying, "Yo, I can give you this power," and Deku kind of feels some type of way due to the way he was being taught to, like how All Might was like, you can't really be a hero, and that still burns in his mind. And negativity or negative emotions burn a little bit differently with this version of Deku due to it being darkness and Umbrokinesis, because it's not dark off of how do I put this, like photokinesis, which is light control. It's not necessarily positive, but a lot of people associate it with positive. But if you saw someone controlling light, you'd be like, is it a god? But if you saw someone controlling darkness, you'd be like, is that Satan? So negativity just sticks with him a little more. Plus, it's a what if I can kind of do almost whatever I want. So it still burns in his mind. He's like, no, I'm good. But he's like, wait, what? Then All Might says, nah, you know what? How about this? Let me train you just to make sure you can handle the quirk's power. And then after that, then you can decide. And he's pretty much saying like, listen, if you say no, then I'll drop it. And All Might's kind of like, wow, I've never thought of someone turning this power down before. He like never thought of this possibility. So with this being said, they do the training, or everything is pretty much going like it does in canon. But there's few differences is Bakugo, he's training a lot more harder. He's trying to get a lot better because, you know, the quirkless loser he thought about this whole time actually had a quirk, and he actually was hiding it from him. Because I was rewatching it, and I thought this as I was watching it. What if Deku actually had a quirk and hid it from him just to mess with him? Because with Umbrokinesis, if I made you not be able to see too good, you wouldn't be able to tell what ability I'm using. Or if I made some shadows, but you can't see them because I'm not making them visible like for you to see. It's just the absence of photons, and photons are what makes us can see light. I can make you trip. I can do a lot of things without you knowing. Get what I'm saying? So, what if he actually hit his quirk? So Bakugo's fierce, but he's doing some solid training. Meanwhile, everything happens the exact same way. Deku, I'm gonna go ahead and say he doesn't fall, but instead of him falling, he was a little late due to his training. And Uraraka, oh, I actually said her name right. She falls instead, and he just grabs her. It looks like telekinesis back practically. She's like, he's like, I don't think you wanted to fall there, so I helped you out. So she's a little nervous or whatever. And to note, this Deku is a little bit more physically inclined due to his quirk, because it's almost kind of that dark enlightenment I was talking about. I'm gonna call it DE, I guess, for short, just to give it some form of abbreviation. It made him mature, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It enhanced him. But it doesn't stop there. It can happen again, but just not in the same context. He could just grow into it better. Anywho, so she's a little nervous. She sees him, and she's just like, oh, hi, my name is... Explains what her name is. And then Deku's like, hi, I'm Deku. And good luck, and all that good jazz. So we go ahead and do this entry exam, man. He's just chilling. He knows he could easily just if he wanted to, he could destroy all of it and just be good. But he's like, nah. So what he does is he makes some dark shadow clones, or dark creatures, shadow people, whatever you want to call them. Sends them out. Those boys go crazy. They just looking around, doing things. He's like, not yet, not yet. Attack. And so they just start wreaking havoc. No one knows what these things are. Everyone's confused except like a few people. Bakugo, All Might, the people that have seen him use his power. They're just like, how strong is this boy? And now on another note, I will give this a side thing because I did forget to say this. He did take All Might's power, because he remembered, he thought about it, like, I'm not gonna take your power and just use it. I need to do this myself. And what his mom told him long ago, well, not really that long ago, but it was a couple years back. It's not your power. I mean, it's not All Might's power. It's not flashy. It's not special. It's your power. That stuck with him, so he took the power. And this time, since he's already has a quirk, and the quirk relies on a lot of special attributes, he felt the power a lot sooner. So he can use 20%, but he does hurt himself when he goes over that like little power limit. So he can still break his bones, but he can use his shadows to help him out. So we'll get into that a moment later. So he has just enough points. He's playing it like not necessarily lazy. He just doesn't want to flex because he kind of remembers how Bakugo was, and he didn't really like that. So he likes to reserve and keep his stuff like hidden off to himself. So he's just sitting there meditating, breathing in darkness, just embracing the element. So that happens. Then it happens. The 0 pointer. And he opens his eyes, and for a brief moment, you can see like this demon-like glow. His eyes are just like dark red. Purple sparks are kind of protruding out of his body. Because everyone was like, why is he just doing that? They didn't really question it. He doesn't have darkness around him or anything. But what he really was doing was trying to get a right amount of percentage for All for One. And now that he has it, he sees the robot. He sees someone in danger. Everyone else is running. He says it in his head, but he's like, they're heroes, but why are they running when someone needs help? So, this moment he says, all right, I want to just try that new move I was working on. He looks at the big-ass robot. He hears the girl screaming. He's like, oh, that's what's her face. I got it. I got this. Stretches, jumps up with All for One. He actually overshooted it, but he was like, oh God. Oh, well. Fuck it. Grabs Shadow out of thin air. Grabs a big body hammer. And just gentle. That's what he called it. He didn't even call it smash, just gentle. And this giant hammer smashes the robots into bits. But instead of hitting it straight down, he hits it at an angle so it goes off flying. And then he just gently comes back down. It's almost looking like he's flying. But people really was confused. It's like, did he hit it with nothing? Like, what? Because you can make shadows. Like, for example, y'all see me, but that doesn't mean there aren't something in between. Because I can make myself invisible. If that makes any sense. He can what's the word? He can make it to where photons don't hit. The only reason y'all are able to see me is because of photons. So he can make his attacks invisible. At least that's how I'm gonna go with it. Sometimes it's really just something so he doesn't flex, but he's flexing because he's not flexing. Type of deal. Saves her. She's good. You know. Then we're gonna go ahead and skip, and we're gonna go a little bit further with this one. And this will be when they're testing out, trying to do all their quirks and stuff. He blows through it. It's super easy. He comes in, like, all this stuff happens canon. He comes in second or whatever. Second when the ball throw, because no one can beat Infinity with Uraraka's float quirk. And yeah, that's just pretty much, everyone's just like, what is his quirk? What's going on? Because it's not really clear, because they've seen him fly. They've seen him destroy a robot. They've seen him do a lot of stuff, so they're just like, what is his quirk? And he always gives off I don't know, you know? I can make little shadow people. But the bird guy, I don't remember what his name was, the dude that does shadows and like has the shadow being with them at all times, he like noticed a kinship towards him. So that will play more and more later into it. They don't become the best of buddies, but Deku will help him out a bit. And I will end this off on the fact of the fights, because everything's going to happen in canon. I'm not trying to change anything too much with that aspect. The only things I want to really change up are like the big fight scenes, because that's what everyone really cares about. So him and Bakugo fight again. But this time, Deku doesn't play any games. And I'm not going to say he just bullies the dude, but pretty much what I'm going to say is They go off on their fights. They're throwing the meanest of hands because he already knows what he's gonna do. And then he actually, instead of using his darkness quirk, he uses all for one's quirk just to kind of get a hang of it. And he's like projecting around because he's like, oh, I can almost move like a shadow. So he gets the full ideal, full cowling, no pun intended, from shadows. Like, I can do this. He can also communicate with shadow beings, but we'll keep that passive aggressive for now. And he's just boom, 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 just beat, 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 beat. Bakugo does adapt to this and eventually hits him with one good blow, but he just weaves it, and it's not really much. Like, this isn't a fight, it's more like a slaughter. So he's just like, oh, this is boring. You were talking all that stuff in middle school, you weakling. And he's just like, all right, take this. And then he does the little gauntlet, and Deku's like, no, I will not. And then puts a wall, but he makes it to where the attack bounces back. But Bakugo was able to get out last minute. And he's like, oh, God. He's like, he just reflected my attack. No, I can't be this weak. And then right before anything else, he just got one of the other shadows just to wrap him up. Looked at him, dead in the eyes with a cold stare, and said, you're weak, Kanchan. You're weak. And then left. And then went to help Uraraka. So she didn't have to do anything risky or anything. All he did was with the engine dude is just eat him. My bad. It just got some shadows, made him cover up his engines. Basically, he just grabbed some tentacles, shadows tentacles, and just moved the dude out the way. Touched it. And he's not flexing or anything. He's just like, y'all are in my way for me to become the #1 hero. I gotta go. And then that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it off. But the JSA attack, I didn't say that right, but the next arc that comes up when they get attacked by the villains and stuff, that one's gonna be a little more interesting because we'll be able to see Deku actually fight someone that isn't just fodder and like trash. So hope y'all like this video, and I will have some more what ifs coming out pretty soon.